Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's nice to see all of you. I feel like it's been a while. I was up at camp at Olin St. Ruby Union Institute, Asrui, in Wisconsin for these past 2 weeks, spending some time working as, serving as one of the rabbis up there. And I went on a bike trip with some of the older campers. They were like 13, 14, 15 years old. And we went on a bike trip across Wisconsin. And in the middle of the bike trip, we were biking one morning and the kids started singing. And I couldn't exactly hear. I was kind of at the back of the pack. You know, they don't want to ride with the rabbi, so they kept passing me. They were singing, and then I realized at a certain point that they were singing prayers. They were singing parts of the Shacharit, the morning prayer service. And by the time we had made it to lunch, they had essentially done most of the Shacharit service. Their favorites, of course. They didn't do any of the ones they don't like. But there was something really powerful about being out in nature and doing an activity that is not inherently Jewish and bringing such beautiful Judaism to that moment. And some of the pieces that the young people put in their array of songs were nigunim, wordless melodies, like the one Cantor Katzman just sang. And I've been thinking a lot about the power of melody, the power of Jewish melody in particular, and I found this amazing quote by Rabbi Nachman of Breslov, who wrote that every shepherd has their own unique melody, their own nigun, born of the grass and the place to where they lead their flock to graze, and so forth. We all have a song in our souls, and when we come together on Shabbat, even if we don't know the words to all the prayers, the opportunity to bring our song together makes unbelievable magic. And so I invite you tonight, whether you know the words to all the prayers or not, they're all melodies that we can catch on to. And I invite you to bring all of the melodies that live within your souls to this moment so that we might make magic together as a community. To begin our service, I'm going to invite up Lisa and Eleanor to light our candles. You can turn to page 2 to join with them.
קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת.
And now, it is my pleasure to invite up Rabbi Gelman for an exciting simcha.
I get to turn around and invite up Evan and Melanie and Sophia up to the bima. Sophia is exactly 3 Shabbats old today. Well, at 9:30 tonight, she'll be exactly 3 Shabbats old tonight. And she's already holding her own pacifier. Oh, you're doing great, girl. It is so special to be standing here with the two of you, because it was just last summer that I had the honor of standing under the chuppah with the two of you. And as you two, both doctors in your own right, meeting in medical school, you both bring so much culture and heritage to your family, to your home. I've always been intrigued, impressed, and want to know more about your Venezuelan Jewish heritage especially. And so in that vein, we get to say hi to your parents, Billy and Maria, who are watching on Zoom, and also get to appreciate Sophia's other grandparents, Matthew and Barbara, who got to be here, and your great-grandmother who's here as well. Now, I wanted to share with you, I went back to the words I said at your wedding a year ago. And these are some of those that we get to reflect on. I said to you, reflecting your words back to you, as you envision your future together, you see a family filled with laughter, love, and the rich tapestry of culture. You express to me how much you are each looking forward to your children, who will grow up surrounded by the warmth of Shabbat dinners, the joys of Jewish holidays, and the meaningful rituals that define your faith. You both recognize the importance of passing down this heritage, ensuring that your children are not only connected to their faith, but also to a strong community. Last summer, that was a dream, a hope of something in the future. And how incredible it is that here you are, Evan, holding those dreams and those hopes. And so, for the first time, I get to announce Sophia's Hebrew name. If you listen for it in the Hebrew, you'll get it there. But I'll do it in the English too. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu kayem et hayelda hazot le'aviha ul'ima vayikra shema beYisrael aviva bat Evan v'Leah. Yismach ha'av beyotzet halatzav betagel ima bifri bitna. Zot hakatona gadola tihiyeh. Kishem shenichnas l'Torah, ken tenichnas lebrit, ken tenichnas l'Torah ulchupa uma'asim tovim. Our God and God of our mothers and our fathers, sustain this child through her parents' loving care. Let her be known among our people Israel by the name Aviva bat Evan v'Leah. May her name be a source of joy to her, inspired to serve our people and all of humankind. May her parents rejoice in her growth of body and soul as they have brought her into the covenant. And so may they, with wisdom and patience, lead her to studying and exploring the world and of Torah, to a life of good deeds, to meaningful relationships, and to peace and happiness. And that we say, Amen. So Aviva, your parents chose this beautiful name because of this love of spring and rebirth and growth as your family is growing with you at the center of it. And so we, the same way we got to do the priestly benediction over the two of you last summer, wrapped in this same talit, so too we get to do it now with the three of you wrapped in this same talit. So I get to invite up the rest of the clergy team as well to, where'd you go, girl? There you are, sorry. Sorry, Eva. Whew. And while they're coming up here, we have a few goodies for you. We have a naming certificate for Sophia, for Aviva, and also from PJ Library, you get a free Jewish book every single month in the mail. It's It's like the most incredible thing the Jewish community does. And so we get to give you your first one. And we all get to give you blessings. So I'm going to invite us all to hold our hands up in blessing to this beautiful family.
יברכך אדוני וישמרך, כן יהי רצון, כן יהי רצון.
May the one who blessed your ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless you and keep you.
יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך, כן יהי רצון, כן יהי רצון.
May God's light shine so brightly upon you. May you feel that warmth of this hug everywhere you go. And may God be gracious to you.
יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום, שלום, שלום. כן יהי רצון, כן יהי רצון.
May you always feel lifted by a divine presence. May that feel alive in the love of your parents, your community, your family, and may that always bring you peace.
Amen. Siman tov u'mazel tov.
mazel tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov.
Aviva, Bat Evan Velea, Brucha Haba'ah, welcome. We're very happy you're here. We turn now to Lachado D on page 20.
Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likrat kala, hinei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likrat kala, hinei Shabbat nekabela, shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad, ish yomenu echad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, Hashem u'tiferet v'tfilah. Lecha dodi likrat kala, hinei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likrat kala, hinei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'neocha, ki hi mekor haberachah, v'rosh mikedem mesucha, tov ma'aseh v'machshavah tchila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, hinei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likrat kala, hinei Shabbat nekabela. Toreri, kiva oreh, umi uri, shana. Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה וצהולה. תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה.
Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Page 26.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה,
Amen.
ועלמא דברה חירותי, וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל. בגלה, בגלה, ובזמן קריב, ואמרו
Amen.
יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירה מעלמה, ואמרו
Amen.
We remain standing for the Baruchu on page 28.
Ya la la, la
Lai,
la
lai,
la
lai,
la,
Lai, 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 lai. Ya la lai, 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 lai. Ya lai, 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 lai.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך,
Baruch Adonai Hamborach, Le'olam va'ed.
You may be seated. On page 30, we come to Ma'ariv Aravim, our blessing for twilight. I invite us to read together in the Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim, bechokma poteach she'arim, uvitvuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono, bore yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, ma'avir yom umevi layla, umevdil ben yom uven layla, Adonai tzvaot shemo, el chai v'kayam, tamid imloch aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. Page 34.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לעולכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת.
Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Mi chamocha, our prayer for resilience in times of struggle, on page 40.
left out Miriam. I'm sorry, Miriam.
It's okay, I said it on our behalf.
Thank you very much.
She was mentioned, don't you worry. That was a beautiful melody. I haven't heard that before.
It's not new, but it's new for me and for you.
Amazing. And for many of you, it sounded like. I did not see a lot of singing, folks, after that opening where I invited you to sing.
Next week.
Next week. That's true. Beautiful musicians. We're going to join together on page 44 for Vishamru. What tune of Vishamru are we doing? The classic?
Debbie Friedman.
Debbie Friedman, you know this. I just spent 2 weeks with kids who yelled the prayers. Let us hear you.
Well,
Vishamru.
Debbie wrote a number of the Shamrim.
Oh.
So,
Is this one that they know?
perhaps.
Maybe. If you don't know it, that's okay. Just sing the nigun, the melody, along with Cantor Katzman. Page 44.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et Hashabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם. ברית עולם, ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. שמרו בני ישראל את השבת, את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת שבת וינפש, שבת שבת וינפש, שבת שבת
In the quiet, my breath is the wind. My heartbeat is thunder. In the quiet, my spirit settles and my soul rests. In the quiet, all that I am meets everyone I might be. God, grant me moments of gentleness, moments of gratitude, moments of calm, moments of peace, so that I might hear the echoes of eternity and the stillness within, so that I might live a life of joy, a life of laughter, wisdom, and dignity, love and honor, in service to myself, but also in service to others, and in service to your holy name. Blessed are the gentle moments of grace. We rise as one community in all the ways we are able. On page 46.
That my mouth may declare your praise. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la.
Baruch atah Adonai,
Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Chanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh HaKol, V'zocher Hashtei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevii Gula Lifnei B'neihem, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, בחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה.
ונאמן אתה
החיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
The next few moments are for you. Whether it's meaningful to read the words in the book or focus on the words of your hearts, take the time you need for some silent meditation, some silent prayer. When you are finished, you may be seated.
Adonai tzuri
When I was in rabbinical school, I went to a congregation called Ikar, which is a non-denominational synagogue in Los Angeles. And one of the rabbis there, Rabbi Morris Panitz, became one of those rabbis that I just, every time he gives a sermon, I listen to it and find deep meaning within it. And he gave a sermon this past week called Reflections from a Bomb Shelter, having returned from Israel with his family after being there for about a month during the height of the violence between Iran and Israel. And after spending almost 2 weeks darting between bomb shelters with his infant and his 7-year-old, finally making it back to the United States after the ceasefire was put in place. In the end of his sermon, I found unbelievably beautiful, and I want to read it to you. He wrote that his son, his 6-year-old son, Matan, had never been to the Kotel before. And so before leaving Israel, after the ceasefire was put in place, they went to the Kotel. He writes, Matan spotted a dove perched in the corner of the wall on a patch of dried grass. He asked me if that was the same bird from all those years ago that flew back to Noah's Ark, olive branch and beak, to tell Noah and his family that the destruction was finally over. I told him it was. And I told him to look for that bird everywhere he went. That if he can't find it, he should ask a friend to help him find it. Because it's always there. Sometimes hiding or too scared to come out, but if you learn its song, maybe you can help it fly once again. And if enough of us learn its song, if enough of us never give up on finding it, maybe the destruction can stop again. And maybe we can all begin to breathe again, to live again. Achenu is one way we continue to search for that dove each and every week in our community. It's our call for the release of hostages who have endured unimaginable suffering, our call to end the suffering of Palestinians in Gaza and the violence that continues in the West Bank, our call for peace, a peace that is real, that is lasting, from which all can begin to heal. Achenu. And just as our hearts turn to the east, they also focus inward on our community, those who are in need of refuat haguf, healing of body, refuat nefesh, healing of spirit, a refuah shlema, a full and complete healing. If there's someone in your life, or maybe you yourself who are in need of such healing, I invite you, as my hand passes around the room, to please say the name of the one you are thinking of, so that we might pray for their collective healing.
Susan Reinish, Stephanie Reinish.
Sam and Ruth Oleski.
We turn to the words of Misha Berach on page 253. It is the third Friday of the month, which, as you know, I don't often get to be a part of because we have another service that often happens on the third Friday of the month. So I am thrilled to be here to welcome up anybody who is having a birthday or who had a birthday in the month of July. Get on up here. That's right, Damien. Get on up here. Sit here. I want to come. Amazing. Do we want to say our names since it's such a small group?
Leo?
And how old you are? I'm kidding.
No one would believe it, so.
Damien.
Ayana.
What's the question?
Just say your name for everybody.
Debbie.
We want to say a Shehechianu for another year of health and joy and blessings in this world. We are so lucky to have the four of you and all of the rest of you whose birthdays are in July who didn't come up to celebrate your birthdays, this amazing moment. We'll join together in Shehechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehechianu v'kimanu v'hegianu lazman hazeh
Debbie, Ayana, Damien, and Leo, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Well, Shabbat Shalom. So I'm going to take a stab at this and just see if anyone else here grew up at summer camp singing Joni Mitchell's Circle Game. Anyone? Yes. You know, the one, the chorus goes, and the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return. We can only look behind from where we came and go round and round and round in the circle game. If I sounded anything like Joni Mitchell, I would have sung that for you, but you're welcome. So I don't know what exactly this says about me, that even when I was a fourth grader going to camp, and I was new to camp, and I heard that song for the first time, my voice would almost catch as a wave of melancholy or something like it would sweep over me every time we got to the line, "We're captive on a carousel of time." Somehow I felt the weight of that. The fact that the seasons may return each year as they had done the previous year, and that nature might look and feel almost the same, maybe a little warmer, but I would never return to that season the same person. I would grow older, I would age, and what I wanted most as a child actually was for the carousel to actually speed up. I hated waiting. Maybe I felt this so acutely because I was the youngest of seven children, and I watched and the experiences of my siblings, and I waited for those experiences impatiently. I wanted to stay out late. I wanted to date. I wanted to listen to the Doors and the Clash and Elvis Costello like they did, but on my own record player in my own room. I wanted autonomy and romantic love and huge sweeps of emotion like my teenage and 20-something siblings. I wanted to know how things would turn out. Would I find lasting friendships and love? Would I be an artist or a teacher or a writer? And I even wondered if I would see adulthood. I was in a rush to move into a new stage of my life, but the carousel, it took its time. And the impatience of my childhood still lingers in me as an adult. You know, I want to say that I want the carousel to slow down, but when I'm reading a long novel, I'm the person who wants to skip to the end to see how things turned out. When I'm hungry, I want the hours to pass quickly to my next meal, and even now, even as I'm enjoying my time as an empty nester with my husband Damien, I want time to speed up for my son to return from camp and volunteering so that we can all be together again. I do not like to wait, and I suspect that I'm not alone. Now listen to these galling facts. About 6 months of our lives are spent waiting in line for something. 6 months. The average person spends about, and just get this, take it in, 43 days on hold with an automated customer service in one lifetime. So Judaism, in its wisdom, because let's face it, we are an impatient people, it acknowledges the challenge we have with time spent waiting, both for happy occasions and for difficult commemorations. Our tradition provides us instruction for what to do to pass the time wisely while we wait. And there are two major times in the Jewish calendar that our tradition acknowledges the challenge of waiting for an important date, 2 times. One, waiting for a positive commemoration, Shavuot, the receiving of the Torah at Mount Sinai, and the other, waiting for one of the most tragic dates on the calendar year, Tisha B'Av, the 9th of the Hebrew month of Av. The first one many of us are familiar with, the 49-day span between Passover and Shavuot. From biblical times, we have been commanded to literally count each day in a practice called counting the Omer. The 49-day wait time invites us to transform our impatience into intentions. The carousel of time spins, but we are not like the ponies that are stuck going up and down. We can structure this in-between time with purpose. We can move forward in wisdom. The psalmist wrote, "Teach us to count our days rightly, that we may obtain a wise heart." Counting time in this way lets us make the most of our hours of waiting. And I personally find that easier to do when I'm looking forward to a great celebration, to be able to count those days almost like a countdown. But what about the time when time marches on and it marches forward toward a darker time, like winter instead of summer, or a yahrzeit instead of a birthday? I find this type of waiting and this time of waiting much more difficult. And it's this tenor of Jewish time right now, this mood of a little bit down, when we again find ourselves between 2 dates in the Hebrew calendar, in this case, the 17th of Tammuz, when the ancient Romans breached the walls of Jerusalem in the year 69 of the Common Era, and the 9th of Av, when the temple was destroyed just 3 weeks later. Yet Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, not only commemorates that day in the year 69, but Tisha B'Av is a repository for all kinds of tragedies that happened to fall upon this date. The destruction of both the first and second temples, the beginning of the Crusades, the expulsion of Jews from Spain, the deportation of Jews from Warsaw Ghetto to Treblinka, and most recently, 30 years ago today on the Gregorian calendar, which was Tisha B'Av on the Hebrew calendar, the bombing of the Jewish Community Center in Buenos Aires. The rabbis decided to not only mark Tisha B'Av, but they decided to mark the waiting time of the 3 weeks every year when we Jews wait for that date to arrive. And these weeks are called Tlat de Puranuta, the 3 of destruction. So instead of counting each day, as we did in the count leading up to Shavuot, in these 3 weeks, we acknowledge this time through Shabbatot, through the Sabbaths, and specifically through readings of the prophets connected to these 3 Sabbaths that caution us. So this week in synagogues around the world, Jews will hear the words of Jeremiah the prophet chastising the Jews of ancient times for straying both from ethical treatment of human beings and also straying from their fealty to God. And Jeremiah begs everyone to change their ways. And I find that it's such a strange tradition as time marches toward Tisha B'Av, as it does every year around this time, that we look back and read the books of these prophets who tried to warn the people, but we already know how things will unfold. All we can do is look back with no way to change what occurred. We are captives on the carousel that returns us to this time of impending doom with no way to change the past. We can only look back as we go round and round. The warnings from the prophets seem to heighten our feeling of helplessness. We cannot change the past. All we can do is look back on it, at best learn from it. And to be honest, the reason that I am thinking so much about waiting and my incredible impatience with it is not because we are in this historic period of waiting, but because right now each of us is in a period of waiting. Some are waiting for test results and others will begin treatment. Some are waiting for a baby to arrive and others waiting for children to leave home. And collectively, we are all in an excruciating period of waiting. It seems almost impossible to say that it has been 650 days since October 7th, 2023, since so many deaths and destruction, since 251 people were taken captive and 50 people dead and, please God, still living, remain in captivity. And like being on a carousel where we can only look behind from where we came, it can feel just as powerless to affect the future. Despite prayers and sermons and lobbying and marching to end this war, to bring the hostages home, to rebuild and heal and repair, it feels like so little can be done to change things. And there are times when I feel resigned to the reality that I cannot change what will happen there, even though I know I cannot bear to spend another season in this devastation. I want our hostages to come home now, for us to experience some kind of peace now. And I hate waiting. I cannot stand this waiting for a date that we as a people will surely commemorate every year on that day when we are finally at peace. But when will it be? Judaism has wisdom for how to mark the time of waiting that we know, 49 days, 3 weeks. Do we have wisdom for this kind of waiting? Waiting in a time whose expanse we do not yet know? This is the darkest time for our people historically and right now. So I find myself relying on that ancient wisdom of not looking away, but peering closely at the hardest things, but not getting fooled that this devastation is intractable. Only our people, I think, could name the Shabbat before the cruelest date on the Jewish calendar, Shabbat Chazon, the Sabbath of vision, the Shabbat we will celebrate next week. It holds this implicit message. With vision, you will find a way to the other side of this. Do not despair. I remember a Shabbat just 11 years ago, the summer of 2014, when Israel was also at war, at that time under attack from missiles coming in from Gaza. I remember what it was like to be there with my children and to have our flights canceled, not being able to get out because the airspace wasn't safe. I remember what it was to be strangely stuck in Jerusalem and wanting to find another place to go in Israel. And so we went up north. We went up north to a beautiful moshav. And when we were there, we got there just before Shabbat started. And so with the boys, who were at the time 6 and 4, we went on a walk through the moshav, just trying to discover the hills and what was happening around us. And we heard this beautiful singing, almost like a concert that was happening somewhere near us, but we couldn't quite find it. And then we heard louder and louder the words of Oseh Shalom, the words that mean that we will make this peace. And so I kept looking and we kept looking, and I'll tell you, we looked for maybe about 40 minutes trying to find the place where we could actually hear people singing in earnest in all situations this prayer for peace. And we didn't find it then, but we did sing it together that evening, and we did appreciate being there. And I'll say that for me, I still hold on to hearing those words in the distance, not despairing, knowing that there was always and will continue to be a vision for peace. Our Proverbs warn us, where there is no vision, the people perish. Our very existence is a reassurance. You are still here. You have not perished. Recall the vision of your people. Live it where and how you can. If not there, then here, where you can affect the people around you with a vision of a better world. This is what you do in the time of waiting. As the Mishnah commands us, engage in acts of kindness, visit the sick, deal graciously with guests, celebrate with young couples in love, and bring comfort to those who grieve. These are the things we can do. This is our vision for how we bring peace. What an assuring message our tradition gives us in these darkest of days of waiting. Be the light. I'll leave you with these words from poet Kay Ryan on the wisdom of waiting. Who would have guessed it possible that waiting is sustainable, a place with its own harvests, or that in time's fullness the diamonds of patience couldn't be distinguished from the genuine in brilliance or hardness. As we go round again in this season of waiting, let us harvest from the hardness a brilliant vision of the good. Shabbat Shalom.
And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on the carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came and go round and round and round in the circle game.
We continue now on page 282 and then 287 with Aleinu. In body, in spirit, please rise.
Aleinu l'shalom. לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא אסם גדולי הארצות, ולא שמנו משפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורמנו משפחות האדמה. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים מודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר היה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, היום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
Seated.
We have got some exciting things coming up.
Where are those things?
I found them.
Okay.
That we would love for you to come to in the next week. Mindful Jewish Aging
Yes,
is on Saturday,
yes.
July 19th, with Cantor Katzman. It's going to be online at 1 p.m., and we hope you will join. Women of Temple Sholom are going on a tour of the DePaul Art Museum on Sunday, July 20th at 1 p.m. in person for an artsy afternoon at the stunning museum. It's going to be docent-led, so you should come. Well, you should come even if it wasn't going to be docent-led, but I feel like it's a pro. Like, this is professional people, so you should go to that. And on July 23rd, online, there's going to be a pre-Tisha B'Av virtual climate lobby day. I'm told that there are meetings scheduled already with Senator Durbin's office and Senator Duckworth's offices. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Rabbi Antman, I've met with Senator Durbin's office a million times over the years, and that may be true, but there may only be so many more times you can meet with that office, with that particular senator. So you should probably come to the lobby day. It's going to be online between 10 a.m. and noon. Those are the three things we have coming up, and we hope to see you at all of them. And then we will be right back here next week at 6:15 for Shabbat.
Beautiful. And the following week, you'll see a lot of different ways to be able to commemorate Tisha B'Av as well, not just the lobby day, but we're going to start with the lobby day, which will be very meaningful. And not only great because we'll be meeting with Senator Durbin's office, but also because, please God, we're going to be effective in this. So that's another reason to do this on that day. Bless you. As we turn now to, for Kaddish, as we turn to a particular page,
Oh, drat. It's not on my cue sheet.
I think it's page 294. Soon enough, we're going to have these page numbers down as well. But as we prepare ourselves for Kaddish, I want to share with you a reading that was written by Rabbi Karen Kadar that she titles this, Learning from Death. She says that the true worth of a life is the story it has left behind. Tell it well. Search for meaning and understanding. Search for the truth. Did he teach you about love? Did she personify genius or sensitivity? Did their lives warn you of the danger of bitterness and anger? As I stand and behold the eyes of those who mourn, I realize that the only difference between people in this world is not their wealth or fame or success. The only difference is those who had love in their life and those who did not. Just by being part of a community like Temple Sholem, you know what it is to be loved. You know what it is to have that in your life, even as we bring comfort to one another, as we honor those who once blessed this earth with their lives and now continue to bless us with their memory. On this Shabbat, we remember those who recently departed from this earth. Kurt Gutfriend, Fred Frankston, Alan Horwich, Larry Meister, and Norman Sandfield. And on this Shabbat, we mark the yahrzeit of William Barnett, Fern Bergstein, Morris Cohen, Ida Cohen, Peter Conover, Beverly Dolinsky, William Eatman, Phyllis Ellis, Ida Fetter, Timothy Fentman, Miles Fleischman, Genevieve Fowler, Alvin Golub, Lois Krollgood, Joel Goodman, Theodora Gordon, Sarah Harris, Louis Herman, Izzy Johnson, Morris Katzman, Joanne King, Janet Cohn, Avraham Mordechai Krell, Harry Kroll, Hannah Kroll, Sander Kushner, Rose Mijos, Alan Meyer, Alexander Morris, Sylvia Wine Novak, Charles Royblatt, Bernard Rosenberg, Rita Scheiman, Marcia Silverstein, Helen Seiner, Bruce Trannon, Debbie Weinstock, Lily Yanow, and Beulah Zipkin. If there are others you are remembering on this Shabbat, I invite you to please share their name.
Cooper birthday, July 19th, and 39 years, August 30th, Michael.
Again, the words for Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish, are found on page 294. In body, in spirit, we rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kari v'imru, amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudusha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Ta'amiran v'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min Shemaya. V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru, amen. Cantor Katzman.
Rabbi.
Just want to say that when we named that beautiful little girl, Aviva Bat Evan Valea, I was looking at you the whole time thinking, if only she grows into being an Aviva like this.
I was quelling.
I was quelling with you. And quelling that they chose such a perfect name.
No, I agree. Perfect. Couldn't be nicer. Let's turn to page 321. And I would like to do the last verse of Adon Olam and to a very sweet Sephardic tune. So I'm going to sing it to you on La La La, and then we'll do the last verse. Lai, 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 la, lai, 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 la, lai, 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 la, 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 lai, 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 lai. Beyado afkid ruchi be'et ishan ve'ayira ve'im ruchi geviati Adonai li ve'lo ira.
Cantor, will you do the honors of the Kiddush this evening?
Oh, I could do that.
Is it page 5? It probably is.
It might be.
Strong possibility.
I can look. If not, I can fake it. Okay, let's see. Page 5. You're such a good rabbi. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lemase bereshit ki hu yom techiva lemikrae kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen. Chaim.
We hope to see you around the corner